This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, so we can hear you.
Yeah, yesterday I have shared that recording in a Drive, Kubernetes installation, along with all files. Okay, we have got succeeded, right? So that recording and file, everything I have uploaded in Google Drive. Okay, I have posted and do that installation. I think yesterday Mehboob and Galib both are attended, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now yesterday we have spoken about build activity. Okay, since we cannot use code directly, so the code must be converted into some executable or application or artifact format. So today we are going to do the same task from Jenkins. Okay, first of all, we are going to discuss what is the need of Jenkins actually. What is the need of CI/CD engine? What is the need of CI/CD softwares? Now, in every organization, okay, so it can be a startup company or it can be a big MNC, whatever it may be. Generally, they are going to perform something like day builds and night builds. So, what are the day builds, guys? Day builds means these builds are going to be happen whenever a developer are in active position. Means when developers are writing code, developers are active, developers are presented, these builds are going to be happen. Generally, these builds are triggered every 2 hours, okay, or every 3 hours. That depends on company policy. Okay, so day builds are going to be happen whenever most of the developers are active, whenever most of the developers are working on the code. And at the time of day builds, what happens here? Your code is built along with unit test cases. Unit test cases, that means basic testing is done. And then what about night builds? So here night builds are going to be happen every night. Okay. So these are going to be happen from Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday. And night builds are going to be happen every night exactly 3 a.m. This is UTC time, guys. It is not specific to any country. Okay. And 3 a.m. So for this build to be completed easily, it may take more than 3 to 4 hours of time. 3 to 4 hours of time. And whenever something goes wrong in night build, what happens here? That is reported to developers on the next day. Okay, 3 a.m. and here in night builds, what happens here? Automated test, tests are done, like system testing, okay, performance testing, load balancing testing. So these are called as automated testings. It is not our area. Okay, testers will come into picture here. They are going to apply test cases. Okay, so day builds are going to be triggered every 2 hours in the day. And whenever something goes wrong in the day builds, immediately the issue can be fixed. But when the night builds are done, that is reported on the next day, and testers and developers will come together. They will solve the issue. So this kind of things I want to do. Okay, this kind of things I want to trigger. Okay, every 2 hours or every night 3 a.m. Who has to run this? Who has to execute this? Every 2 hours, every night to 3 a.m. Okay, shall we have to wake up at 3 a.m. UTC time? And every 2 hours, shall we have to trigger that? Shall we have to build the code manually? No, it is not possible. So to perform these activities, to trigger these activities, okay, definitely we need something like CI/CD tools. CID tools are required to perform above activities. And here, now to perform day builds and night builds, environment must be also ready, right? Environment means servers must be also ready. But who are going to create servers? Who are going to create servers? From where we can take servers? My question is, CI/CD tools are for executing a build command. But to execute these commands, we need servers. Okay. So who will be providing servers here? Who will be providing servers? Who will be providing servers? So servers can be provided, okay, from your local area. Means the server can be either your physical machine or virtual machine, or you can also take servers from cloud. So when it comes to cloud, it can be AWS cloud or Azure cloud. But who will be creating these servers? To create servers, we need some software, right? Terraform is required. Okay, Terraform can create servers, and once server is created, okay, so it must has to install some software. Means for that, already you people have learned Ansible. From Terraform, we can execute directly some script, or otherwise, especially for provisioning, okay, especially for configuration, you can use Ansible. So all these tools you can call from CI/CD tools. All these things you can call it from CI/CD tools. Means the main intention of CI/CD tool is something like what? Okay, to trigger the bills automatically. Since we cannot perform day bills, night bills automatically, since we cannot trigger automatically, okay, we are going to use something like CI/CD tools. So what are the CI/CD tools, guys? Jenkins, Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps exactly it is equivalent to Jenkins. It is not nothing more than that. Okay, people will say that more about Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps is nothing but Jenkins. Azure DevOps is nothing but Jenkins. It is not more than that. Okay. Now, so one more simple example I want to give it to you. Morning at 5 a.m. IST. Okay, I want to start a VM. 9 p.m. IST. I want to stop the VM. This is my automated activity. Now to perform this activity, shall I have to log in into AWS portal and manually click on start virtual machine at 5 a.m. and stop virtual machine at 9 p.m. manually? It is not possible. How you are going to do that? Forget about Jenkins, guys. How you can do this activity? Without Jenkins, how you can do this activity in an automated way? I have to schedule some job. That job, okay, must be executed. That job is what? To start a virtual machine at 5 a.m. And one more job is that job must stop virtual machine at 9 p.m. IST. How to do that? Guys, did you understand my question?
Yep.
Shiva, are you talking about powering it off and powering it back on using some sort of a tool or something? Or are you talking about restarting?
Not restarting. Automatically that must be started. Not manual startup.
Turn off and turn.
How to do that? I want to start in a automated way. How to do that?
I mean through automation tool.
Okay, you can use EC2. EC2 virtual machine must be started at 5 a.m. automatically without your involvement. For that, definitely we are going to write some script. But who has to execute that script? Someone should be there to execute that script, right? The script can be something like commands or scripting. Scripting is different. We are going to write script, but someone should execute that script, right? For that, in Linux, do you know the concept of cron job?
Yep, I know. But for
Yeah,
that, one server is required, correct? Another server.
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh,
For that
to
server
run
has to be
long
up and
task,
running.
another server should
Yeah,
be
server is there. Server will start. Server can be created automatically, but my server must be started at 5 a.m. 5 p.m. server must be stopped. For that, I can schedule a job in cron job. Is it correct or not?
Mhm.
Yes.
And when you speak about the Windows operating system, so there is another concept called Windows Task Manager. Windows Task Manager. Okay, this is from Windows. This is generalized schedulers. Okay, these are cron job or Windows task managers are schedulers. But when it comes to specifically our DevOps concept, okay, so we have to perform these day builds and night builds in automated way. So for that, especially we can use CI/CD tools like Jenkins or Azure DevOps. Some other tools are there, but yeah, these are very much popular. Okay, that means in our terminology, we can simply say that Jenkins is a scheduler. It is not more than that. Okay, but it is more than that. It is a scheduler with some extra powerful features. Not only scheduler. Okay, it is having some extra powerful features. Like cron job, Windows Task Manager, it is not simply scheduler. But for our understanding purpose, you can remember that Jenkins is a scheduler. It is going to execute some commands on our behalf at a particular point of time. Jenkins is going to do some activity at a particular point of time. Especially we can use Jenkins for creating CI/CD pipelines. So what is CI, what is CD, we are going to discuss soon. Okay, continuous integration, continuous delivery or continuous deployment pipelines we are going to create by using Jenkins. Okay, so in simple terminology, so you have to remember that Jenkins is a scheduler with some extra powerful features. Okay, now so while working with Jenkins, we have to remember few things. What are the things you have to remember? One is few things means what are the few things? Troubleshooting. So while working with Jenkins, okay, you will be taking care of builds. So when you are working as a DevOps engineer, regularly you are going to manage 5 or 6 pipelines. 5 or 6 pipelines. Okay, some pipelines might be working on virtual machines. Some pipelines might be working on containers. Containers you have learned already. Okay, so if you did not learn containers, no worries. In Docker and Kubernetes, again we are going to see. Okay, those who did not learn containers, forget about it. So containers are just like virtual machines, but they take very less amount of resources. Okay, now what are the issues? What are the troubleshooting issues that you have to remember? The Jenkins server must have, okay, enough CPU and memory. That means a Jenkins server must be like a beast kind of server. Okay, it must have excellent CPU and excellent memory. Okay, I think in the AWS these many days we have been using T2 Micro. T2 Micro is a very small virtual machine which is not enough to build your artifacts. Okay, and when it comes to second thing that you have to remember is ensure that, okay, is build should not ask any prompt like passwords. Okay, now suppose when I say sudo apt install Jenkins or Nginx, it will ask a prompt, right? Prompt should not be asked. So if prompt a password is being asked, your build is failed. So that is why at the end of the apt we have to add -y. That is for auto approval. That is one more issue that you have to remember. And third issue you have to remember is ensure that build is done by a user, okay, that is having admin rights. Admin rights. Okay, generally when you are performing build, the user from which you are going to perform MVN package. Yesterday we have executed MVN package, right? MVN package, and sometimes we may create users. Sometimes we may perform some admin activities. Okay, to perform an admin activities, that particular user must have admin rights. Okay, so if such user is not having admin rights, the build might be failed. And one more important thing, plugins are not doing, or plugins will not do any activity. Just plugins provides interface. Always think that without plugin also we can do many activities. Plugin is not for doing any functionality. Plugin is just going to minimize your work. Okay, so without plugins also we can do much. Suppose if Maven plugin is there in Jenkins, just we can say only package. If Maven plugin is not there, just we have to run MVN package. This is without Maven plugin. And suppose Git plugin is not there, you have to write something like Git clone and URL. And if a Git plugin is there, just you need to give only URL. That's it. That means you have to think that without plugin also we can do a lot. Okay, plugin is just going to, it is going to provide some interface. It is going to provide interface. That's it. Okay. So yeah, these are the very important things just you have to remember. Now, while performing build activity, okay, so if any hardware issue is occurred, memory is not sufficient, CPUs are not sufficient, okay, so it is your responsibility to solve the issue. So if any coding issue is there, okay, you are not responsible for solving that issue. So it is a job of developer. Okay, because we are not part of development activity. We are not developers. We are not going to write any code. Okay, that means if any code related issue comes, developers will be solving the issue. So if any hardware related issue comes, you have to solve that. And if any permission issue comes, okay, suppose if you are doing an activity with a user which do not have permissions, it is your responsibility to solve the issue. That means based on troubleshooting issue, okay, you have to solve this. These are very important things, guys. Okay, when you are working in an organization. And one more thing, every day you have to manage 5 or 6 pipelines. 5 or 6 pipelines. One pipeline might be there in virtual machine. One pipeline might be running in containers. One pipeline might be running in JDK 17. One pipeline might be running in JDK 8. One pipeline might be running in JDK 11. Okay, depends on client requirement. You have to install appropriate softwares. How to deal with multiple JDKs, that is a different issue. Okay, we will take care of it. Okay, we will do that. So yeah, these are the very important activities that we have to remember while working with Jenkins. Without Jenkins, there is no DevOps, guys. Okay, in our DevOps journey, majorly you have to learn CI/CD and containers. Without this, there is no DevOps. Terraform is also important. Okay, you can give last preference for Ansible. because whatever activities we are doing with Ansible, same activities we can also do with Terraform. Is the concept clear, guys, so far? Is it interesting?
Yep.
Day builds, night builds. What is the use of Jenkins? Why Jenkins? What is the need of using Jenkins? What are the troubleshooting issues that you have to remember?
Yes. Very interesting.
Right. Now, so when it comes to Jenkins installation part, there are so many ways. So one way is we can set up Jenkins, okay, by creating a Docker container. I think those who completed Docker, okay, did we not create Jenkins container? Docker container run -- name C1 -p 77338080 Jenkins by Jenkins latest. That is one way, okay. But most of the companies will not be using that, because for startup companies that is very much useful. And this is one way. Second way is we can set up Jenkins by placing Jenkins .var file, okay, in the Tomcat's web apps folder. So in Tomcat a web apps folder is there, and Jenkins .var file is a application that is developed in Java. It is a web application actually. So when you deploy this var file, when you place this var file in Tomcat's web apps folder, okay, and Jenkins.var file can also be used like a web application. This is second way, but this is not mostly used. This is the oldest approach. This is for smaller companies. And there is another way. So we can set up Jenkins, okay, as a separate service. Okay, this is mostly used. This is mostly used by every company. Okay, first approach is this is not mostly used. It is by startup company, and second is the oldest approach, and the latest and mostly used approach is what we can set up Jenkins as a separate service. Okay, so these are the three popular ways, and out of three we are going to use last approach, steps for installing Jenkins. So what are the steps? Create a VM with any Linux flavor. With more than 1 CPU and 1 GB memory. This is the first requirement. Second requirement is what? Install JDK 17, JDK 11, JDK 8. Okay. You can install all the softwares, because Jenkins without JDK, Jenkins will not run, because Jenkins is a application, software application that is written in Java. Okay, install JDK 11, JDK 8, and whatever you want. So how many versions you want, you can install all those and install Maven. This is for building artifacts. And fourth step is what? Install Jenkins. So yeah, these are the steps that we have to follow to set up Jenkins. For that, what I will do, so I will go to my EC2 dashboard. So click on launch instance. So here I am saying as Jenkins master. Why I will say master, we will discuss. Very soon we are going to discuss. Ubuntu and T2 micro is not enough. So I will take a larger one, T2 medium. At least 2 CPUs must be there. At least T2 medium is having 2 CPUs and 4 GB of RAM. So what is that key file? I am going to create a new key file. This is 14th June Jenkins. And create key pair. And in network settings, I want to I don't want to create I want to create a new security group. Okay, so here we have to open 8080 port number because Jenkins will run on 8080. Okay, add security group rule. This is custom TCP 8080. So if you want to provide accessibility to a particular IP address, you can specify that. Otherwise, if this can be accessed by every user, give 0.0.0/0 and click on launch instance. Just give me 2 minutes time.
Shiva, meanwhile, so yesterday the Maven gave a issue, no? Is that resolved in the morning session?
He said give him 2 minutes. He's not here.
Oh, okay. He went out.
Dilip, where are you? Are you in United States?
Oh, yeah, I'm in US.
Where? In Texas?
I'm in EST, Maryland.
Maryland? Oh, okay. I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Oh, Dallas. Okay.
Mhm. So I think you started late, right? When we started, you came a little bit late, or you were in a different group?
No, I just joined this group only. I just joined in the previous Git session onwards.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think it's one week, last 1 week. Yeah. So you guys
Right.
are about to finish?
Yeah, looks like he's going with this thing. I think I thought uh, Marvin may take a couple of class more, but I don't know what he's going to do. We already done with Git, Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes. So yesterday we did Maven. Maybe I don't know how long. Basically, it should be like um, what 10 weeks class. So we are running on. I think this is a 7 week most likely.
Oh, okay. So I joined in the sixth week, sixth or seventh week. Yeah.
Six, all right.
So Maven is not completed, correct? Yeah. Yesterday it gave issue.
Yeah, but he is showing today Jenkins, so I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I thought of asking. Did he complete? Did he do it in the morning your session, like in the while doing the Kubernetes and Docker?
Kubernetes, yeah, this morning that is a different Kubernetes. That one he told us he was going to show. It is a like a just a how to build uh, the cluster with the AWS.
Okay. So
So
not with, he didn't do anything with the
in
Maven
the
thing.
Maven, no, he didn't do anything with Maven.
Okay. Yeah.
Guys, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes, we can hear
Thanks
you.
for waiting. Just so connect to this virtual machine. Someone is asking something. What is that?
So Shiva, like, so what I was asking, like yesterday, Maven gave a error, no? Like, are we going to continue sometime, or that's what my question is?
Same thing we are going to execute from Jenkins
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, just wanted to.
because that is the activity we are going to do from Jenkins, right? Okay,
Oh,
it
okay.
is coding issue. It is not our that is not our mistake.
Yes, correct. Yeah, yeah. Just to complete the
Sometimes what
process.
happens here, continuously the developers are changing the code.
Yeah, got it.
Same thing we are going to do from Jenkins also. See, okay. Sudo apt update. I am installing all the necessary software. First, I will proceed with one version of the JDK. Then I will discuss how to deal with multiple versions of JDK. Sudo apt install. First, I am installing 17 version. Latest JDK 17 JDK. This already we did in last class also. So that is why I am not giving any steps in the last class notes. You can from last class notes you can collect the steps. This is Java home, right?
And Shiva, where do we get like a exact that name for JDK 17? That open JDK, open JDK for 8, 17, those information.
You want information?
No, so where we can get like exact uh,
You
the
can
name
Google
for.
it.
Okay, we can take it from the Google. Okay.
Hmm. Open JDK 17 on Ubuntu. Okay, so just exactly I am following these steps. Apt-get update. First is searching whether there is any OpenJDK softwares are there in Maven repository. Then is installing. Are you seeing here?
Yep.
OpenJDK 17 JDK.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah. So for each server it will be different. For Linux it will be different, and Ubuntu it will be different.
No, Linux. Ubuntu is one kind of Linux.
Okay.
Ubuntu is one kind of Linux. Okay, if you want to know information about this one, refer here. Refer here to install OpenJDK. Underscore home is the closing brackets are not coming here. Closing they have to come right. Sudo apt update. Yeah, this is a home directory of Maven. Okay. Now just copy these two. The virtual machine and nano sudo nano /etc environment. Okay, exactly we pasted. So once you are doing this activity, say Control X Y to save and come out to execute the environment source /etc/environment. This is to reflect the environment. And once reflect the environment, check for existence Java underscore home. Okay, it is giving. So in the same way, M2 underscore home. Okay, now both are reflected. So my JDK MVN installation is completed. Next thing is we have to install Jenkins. To install Jenkins, it is very much simple. Just execution of just 4 steps. So say Jenkins installation on Ubuntu. Or directly you can installing Jenkins. So here it is not given. Select Linux or Linux it is Debian. Okay, always select long-term support release. Don't select weekly release. So if you select weekly release, okay, the versions might be changing. So here copy all these commands and paste it over here. -y. think this is all one. So once installation of Jenkins is over, we have to use it from browser because it is a browser based application, web application. Okay. So we are not supposed to use it from CLI. Since it is a browser based application, we have to open it in browser. And with this installation, what happens? A user called Jenkins will be created. How to see list of users, guys? In the Linux, there is a command called there is a command to display all the users. What is that command? ATNT password. Are you seeing at last Jenkins user is created? What is the home directory of Jenkins? Where lib Jenkins. Generally, home directory for every user is home username. But for Jenkins, home directory is where lib. This is a very important thing you have to remember. For Jenkins, the home directory is where lib because we are not creating. So Jenkins user is created with the installation of Jenkins. Okay. Now my Jenkins installation is successful. And to access Jenkins, to use Jenkins, select Jenkins master. And this is a public IP address, right? Copy public IP address and go to one new browser. Paste it over here. 8080 is working, right? It is asking administrator password. Where administrator password is there? You go in this location. So to unlock Jenkins, we have to give admin password. So how to display admin password? Sudo cat command is going to display content of a file. This location. Here, this is a password. We have to give this password to unlock Jenkins. Copy this and go to web browser and paste it over here. Say Control V or Shift Insert. Continue. Never. Install suggested plugins. All the necessary plugins are installed here. If you select second option, you need to select plugins manually. I don't want to do that. Okay, Jenkins knows what are the plugins it requires to function. Now we have to set up admin user. My admin user.
The admin user, is it our, we can do the CLI, right?
What CLI?
The admin user, the user you're creating here and giving the password.
Admin user, if you are doing it from CLI means that is OS user. This is Jenkins user.
Okay, so we need to do it from the graphical interface. Okay, got you.
Yes. You are speaking about the OS user, OS admin. This is Jenkins admin.
Yeah, no, when we create the user for the Jenkins and for all other softwares, I thought we can create a user for the Jenkins also, or give the password for the Jenkins user from Ubuntu.
You are
You
speaking
understand my
about OS user. This is Jenkins user creation.
Yeah, no, my question was, can we create a Jenkins user from the Linux Ubuntu?
How you do that?
Like we created user in the Ubuntu, right? And we
That
give
is what I
them,
am speaking. That is OS level user. That is not Jenkins user.
okay, okay.
That is OS level user. So in the previous sessions you are speaking, right? So we have used something like user add username, right? That is OS level user. Because this is
Now I,
Jenkins related user.
yeah, my question is, can we create Jenkins user from the OS?
Hmm. We did not create it. Automatically it has created.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Okay, this is my Jenkins homepage. And what next? Just I want to create one new item. Item is nothing but it is job. Job might contain, okay, several steps like what you want to do. Okay, so if you comment, if you speak about build, what are the things you want to do? For Jenkins, especially you have to give two things: what you have to do, when you have to do. When is optional, what is mandatory. Just now I told you, right? Day builds and night builds. That is when part. Then what is what part? What part is MVN package, MVN compile, MVN test, MVN install, MVN deploy. This is what part. What is mandatory? First we are going to learn what. Then we are going to learn about when. When means when the job, when the task has to be initiated, when the task has to be triggered. That is when part. Okay, that is called a triggering part. Triggering part we will discuss. Okay, so just for now, select a new item. It is asking which kind of project you wanted to create. Freestyle means GUI. From website you can create new project. From coding also you can create a new project. Okay, from many places. So just for now I am selecting one simple project. I am creating this project from console website. Okay, my first project. Select freestyle. Freestyle means it is GUI based. And on the left side, you are going to see many tabs like general, source code management system, build triggers, build environment, build steps, post build actions. So I am selecting first build steps. We'll discuss each and everything. So in the build steps, what you want to execute? Just I want to execute one simple command. What is that command I will execute? Who am I and PWD. Apply it, save it, and manually run it. To manually run it, click on build now. Are you seeing one build number is displaying over here? Go to console output. Are you seeing the result of who am I is Jenkins? Then that means Jenkins user will be executing every job. And the result of PWD is what? Where lib Jenkins workspace my first project. Okay. Now this is Jenkins console. So if you go and verify Jenkins user. So I did not set up password for Jenkins user. To set up Jenkins password, use sudo password Jenkins. I'm giving same password here. Here also I'm giving same password and switch user to Jenkins. Go to the home directory and see one interesting folder is created here. This is the jobs folder. In the jobs folder, are you seeing a folder by our job name is created here? My first job. Go into that folder. My first job and say ls. Are you seeing something like builds folder config.xml, next build number? Just open config.xml. Are you seeing what are the commands we executed in this build? Is it not displaying over here? Who am I? PWD. Now, as a Jenkins administrator, you may or may not be a Jenkins administrator. So if you are a Jenkins administrator, you have to take care of the home directory of Jenkins. What is the home directory of Jenkins? Varlib. Okay, within this folder, every information, keys information is stored. Like what is the build number, what is a password, every information. Okay, if this folder is corrupted, your whole Jenkins will go. So you have to take care of, you have to back up this folder if you are a Jenkins admin. Okay, so if you are a DevOps engineer, you may not be Jenkins master. You may not be Jenkins master. To manage Jenkins, some other role is there. That person is going to manage the Jenkins master, Jenkins server. But if you are a Jenkins master, you need to manage this Jenkins home directory also. Okay, always remember in the home directory of Jenkins, jobs folder is there. Within the jobs folder, for every new job, one new folder is created. And if you look at this next build number, cat next build number is 2. We already done one, right? Next build number is 2. Now, where is my cursor? Okay. I want to do some modification here. So to modify this, select this my project, go to configure, build steps. In the place of this, what I will do, sudo apt update, sudo apt install -y Jenkins or Jenkins tree. I am installing a software called tree via from Jenkins user. See what happens here. Applied, save it and click on build now. This build is failed. Why this build is failed? Can anyone says? To get the third point, guys, ensure that build is done by a user that is having admin rights. But does Jenkins user have Jenkins admin rights? No. Jenkins user is created, but it does not have any admin rights, sudo rights. Okay, that is why this build got failed. But how to give permissions to Jenkins user? That is our tomorrow's agenda. Okay, how to give admin rights to Jenkins user? How you can make this kind of builds successful? How we can perform actual builds? how you can build code. Okay, that we are going to discuss in the next class. Guys, till this point, is everything clear?
Yes.
Yes, so far.
Yes.
Please do this installation. Please do up to this point. Tomorrow we are going to do some interesting things. Okay. Thank you, guys. Tomorrow we meet again.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.